Welcome back to It's Showtime, the Craig L. Hayes Show.
And welcome back, everybody. Just like I said just a second ago, welcome back. Welcome back. Hey, but we're here at the Smith Center with John Rotehead Audio for this gorgeous theater that's here in this. How old is this?
We're actually 14 years. It's only 14.
14
we
years.
opened in 2012.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're kind of on the road doing different places and different venues and going. I'm taking the show to places instead of bringing people to me to do it in Elvis's dressing room. But don't worry, we'll be back in there hopefully very shortly and doing more shows from the Westgate Resort. Anyways, where did we leave off?
We left off at PRG Gladys
Spamalot.
Spamalot. There we are. Oh, you know what? I forgot my tie-in. I forgot my tie-in phrase, my tie-in story. So while we, in those early years, in the early 2000s at PRG, technology was evolving and digital consoles were becoming mainstream and the analog was on its way out. So lo and behold, shameless plug here, this company called Digico, who has pretty much the most popular console on the planet, debuted their big frame digital console called the D5. And it was not powered, but its main form of talking to things was fiber optic. So my life came full circle around me not going to fiber optic school. And then, because I didn't think it was going to be anything in the internet, and anything. And then it turns out to be the number one driving force in audio for the modern world is fiber optic. So, I just went a different route on doing the fiber optics. Anyway, so that was going to be my tie-in on the life lesson there. So Spamalot did that. Great time. I got to see a big part of the country, set down a bunch of stuff. That was a good experience. Loved it. Actually, it helped me here at the Smith Center because I got my actual theater background. So I got to understand an immense amount about theater and touring theater because that's what I do 10 months out of the year now.
Yeah, you guys are always doing Broadway stuff here, so it's in ballet and Broadway and yeah, that you got that was really good because it's.
It helped a lot. I didn't ever thought about it, but it really.
Because are they all equity shows and stuff like that?
Mostly equity.
Okay.
We've only had one, as far as I can remember. We've only had one non-yellow card show, non-union technical crew, but we have a smattering of non-equity. That we don't always get the equity crowd. There was, which is unfortunate sometimes because they abuse those kids. It's bad. I'll tell you, this is I will say that I did witness this conversation, and I'm sorry. This is how bad some people get treated because they don't have somebody on their side that they can turn to when they're mistreated. So it was a show called The West Side Story. Kind of popular. It's been known, around a bit. And I was just walking down the dressing room hallway, and the guy playing Tony, the star of the show, the guy's Tony. And we have some very nice dressing rooms back there, and stage management had taken one of the star dressing rooms. Very nice dressing room. And he was all like, hey, can I get one of the other star dressing rooms? I think that'd be kind of nice. And I'm not kidding, verbatim, stage management said, maybe you'll just get sick this week. Because it was a non-equity tour. And I was like, that one is uncalled for. But yeah, so that's why, those things are important in the world.
Yeah, I like doing equity shows, equity stage management, the whole 9 yards. They're just run so much better.
Yep, they are. They truly, truly are.
And the kids are taken care of. Kids, they're not all kids.
Well, they're not all kids, but.
You just call them the kids are taken care of.
Exactly. So yeah, that's unfortunately some of that stuff still exists where people are just taking advantage of for the buck, just to save a few dollars. But anyway, I digress. So Spamalot there, great foundation, and then I came back to PRG, and I was freelance, and then kind of PRG's resident engineer, I'll say, where I would either if there were shows going on, anything, Toyota car show, put your IBM talking head, whatever corporate,
Yeah.
just the machine, rock shows, did a bunch of outdoor stuff at a bunch of the station casinos, summertime party stuff, all that stuff. And I did that up until 2000. I mean, that was years. That was 2006 through 2009 into 2010. And then that's when I got this opportunity through PRG to go out with Black Label Society, which was pretty much the only. No, actually, I did do a couple of the tours, but they were minor tours. But this was like my first full-time tour. Was with Zach Wild, who is, for those of you that are not familiar with heavy metal or hard rock, he was the replacement guitar player for Ozzy Osbourne after oh my gosh, I forgot his name right now. I'll get it in a minute. So I went on tour with those guys. And then went on tour for a couple of years with those guys, and then that's when this opportunity opened up to come here. So I did a heavy metal tours for a couple of years around the planet, and then which was fantastic. Treated really nice. Zach treats his crew very well. Great opportunity. And then this opportunity here in 2012 opened up, and I've been in this lovely theater for 14 years.
Sweet. Didn't you do something over at Phantom too? Or?
Oh, I just subbed in.
Okay.
I just subbed in.
I swear I'd seen you over there before.
Yeah.
I used to go there quite a bit, and
Yeah.
And I swear I saw you.
Yeah, I subbed in every January. One of the full-time audio guys, David Day, would go on a vacation. He went on vacation.
The old guy, David Day?
Yeah, the old guy, David Day. He was approaching retirement when he was over there. Yeah. Old Dave,
I didn't realize that he worked there too. I've known David Day for a long time.
Yeah,
Wow.
David Day. So he would go. So during AVN and CES, he would go on vacation, and I would spend the month of January at Phantom. Did that for like 3 or 4 years. Phantom was great. Love Phantom. A perfect show for 90 minutes.
It was like an amazing show. That was one of the most amazing shows.
That was.
And I've done a few, Andrew Lloyd Webber shows.
Yeah.
And
one or two hanging around.
Yeah, and at the Hilton / now Westgate, and that was an amazing show.
They were here. The Phantom tour was here a couple of years ago, and they're actually coming back for this season. And so, we have put up the 4-ton points for the chandelier and all that stuff. And sorry, this is going to be my my asshole moment of the interview. So being that I had a bunch of electricians, most of my 720 guys, most of them worked on the Phantom show. So we were very well versed on how the chandelier worked over at the Venetian. So the tour wheels in their itty bitty chandelier, and we have this thing that we're putting up, and they're testing it, and we're like, "Where's the rest of it?" And they're like, "What are you talking about?" Like, "Well, that's kind of small, don't you think?" And they're like, "What are you guys talking about?" So then one of the electricians, I don't know if it was Mike Palmer or Wyatt, gets a video of how big the one at the Venetian was, and the 4 parts and all the machinery and the winches and everything, and then they were like, "Wow, that was," and then they did a full what they called the full speed test of their chandelier coming down and crashing above the audience. Sorry, everybody that hasn't seen Phantom, but that's a spoiler there for you.
Yeah.
The show has been out since 1984. So if you haven't seen it, sorry, spoiler alert. And we were, again, making fun of the guys, and they weren't too thrilled that we were making fun of what they thought was the coolest thing on the planet, and we showed them what the coolest thing on the planet.
Oh, isn't that a cute little chandelier?
Oh, I think they actually stopped talking to me halfway through the day because I was relentless. I was just like, "This is so cute," you know. But yeah, so those are the joys. Those are the joys of being here and a bunch of the road guys coming in. Sometimes I see a lot of the same people. Sometimes I don't. The yellow card shows are a little. They don't hang out as much as they used to. A lot of the guys were not so. They don't hang around as much, and you know it's again one of those things where the pay isn't as good as it used to be. I mean, these guys are coming in. I remember our very first tour we had come through was the Color Purple. And for those of you that don't know, Broadway tours a couple different ways. They have the full weekers that they sit down for a week. They're called sit downs for a week. Sometimes they sit down for a couple weeks, like Hamilton and Book of Mormon and Phantom will be sitting down for a couple weeks. Lion King sits downs for 4 weeks to 6 weeks. So those are big sit downs.
Yeah.
And then so it's a week or more, and then there's called a split week where they'll do 3 or 4 days in one city, and then they'll move to another city 3 or 4 for another 3 or 4 days. And then there's the one-offs where you're moving that show every day. So the Color Purple guys were moving that show every day until they got here. So they were a little salty. They were tired, and this poor kid, I can't remember his name, but he was swamped. So I took care of a bunch of stuff for him while the other guy was up here taking care of the stuff for him up here. And then I kind of gave him a little bit of crap, you know, because I was just joking. And he goes, "Oh, is there anything I do?" I'm like, "You know, I kind of like Jack Daniels. You can give me a nice bottle of Jack Daniels if you mind." And he's like, "Okay." And the next day he brought me a nice bottle of Jack Daniels. It was it doesn't matter. So, and then I heard how much he made a week, and then I felt like crap because he was only making like $750 a week.
Oh man.
On a Broadway tour, and I was just like,
Ugh.
"Oh, I felt that." That's when I was like, "Okay, I won't be doing that anymore." So yeah, so some of these kids just aren't making what they used to. But anyway, yeah. So every the tour is different. The shows show up, and they're good. We've had so many shows, lots of great ones, and we still do star policies. Well, I guess star policy is the wrong word, but we still do what I call the rock tours. You know, the Bernadette Peters, the Patti LuPones, the David Byrne came in with a fantastic show called Euphoria. Utopia. My bad, Utopia. One of the best shows I've ever seen was this David Byrne show. Everything was wireless. I'll never forget it. They had infrared trackers on each person in the band. Everybody was wireless. There wasn't a set piece. There wasn't a cable on stage. They had a 3-section chainmail on the stage, and then it was Gray Marley.
I saw that on video.
It was
one of the most bizarre,
stunning.
coolest looking. Yeah.
The most, and this is, you know, when you really don't understand, or I think because of technology, and we've just been bombarded with so much technology, you forget how good musicians actually are. They're, you know, so you gotta remember there was no drum kit, you know, regular drum kit. There's a platform and there's a guy playing 10, 12 drums. You never know.
Yep.
So they had 3 people playing, and I can't remember how they broke it up, but like one guy had like the kick drum and maybe a cymbal and maybe a tom, and another guy had the snare and a couple more toms, and they just broke it up between 3 people. And they say 3 different people are playing this drum kit. And it's like, you close your eyes, sounds like one guy playing a drum kit. There's no pausing. There's no, oh, did I hit that? No. It was like 3 people played all the different parts of a drum kit, and it sounded perfect. I mean, that's what blew my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for people who don't know, that David Byrne, he was the lead from Talking Heads back in the 80s and stuff. And yeah, one of the most He loves bizarre. He just loves
Oh,
doing
yeah.
the weirdest thing, but he does it, and it's amazing.
Amazing. It's amazing. It was groundbreaking back in the what was it, the late '80s when they did Stop Making Sense.
That was like 84, 5,
Yeah.
somewhere in there, 85, 86. Yeah, it was right in there, though, yeah.
The theatrics for that, it was similar, where blank stage, and I can't remember how it started. I think maybe it was just him
He
and
just
the
he
guitar.
just walks out with his guitar and a boombox. He says, "I want to show you something."
Yep.
And he starts playing the song, and then as songs are going by, they're bringing out more band gear, more players, more, and pretty soon the curtains all come in, and boom, there's your show.
Yeah.
You're off and running.
Yeah, I mean that's the magical thing that I think that it gets missed a lot. Now it's all LED walls and lots of lights and
Yeah. You don't need all that stuff if you do
do a
some
good
cool
show.
stuff. And when I saw that, I think at that time I was working at the Mint. I was in the lounge at the Mint, and I was like, I dig that. I said, I'm going to use that in reverse. So 4:00 in the morning when we're doing the last set, we're doing the last 4 or 5 numbers. I'm walking out there, disconnecting band gear, taking it off, then go back out there and go grab something else, take it off, and the band guys are just standing there. And pretty soon I just grab them and walk them off, And by the time the last set's over, there's hardly anything out on stage, and I go back and hit the curtain. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. And
And they loved it. They thought that's
Yeah.
so cool because they all know who they all
knew why you were doing
Yeah.
it. Yeah. No, it's you appreciate that because you don't need, not that it enhances the show. That's what sometimes people come to see because I get to see a lot of comment cards here, and they're like, either people are thrilled with how basic the show was, like, well, I thought it was going to be more theatrical. I thought there was going to be more of whatever they were looking for. You never know. But yeah, you don't have to have all the glitz and the glam and all the stuff if you put on a good show.
I can imagine on that Utopia show how it would have been. The comment cards like, "What did I just see?"
Yeah. Well, and I think, and for the
But if
most
you're a
part,
true fan, you would get it.
if you're coming to see David Byrne,
You know what
you
exactly.
know what you're coming to see.
Exactly.
It is funny audiences now that, and I get it. Sometimes they don't always research their sorry. They don't always research the act they're coming to see, and so it is funny when they get shocked by some of the shows, like one of the Broadway shows, which I have found to be the most disturbing. It was called oh crap, I can't remember the name. Something about a dog. Oh crap. I'll research it and I'll try and find it while I talk about it. The show starts out. This is how the show starts. It's about an autistic boy. Okay, so it's about the mind of an autistic person. And it deals with a bunch of stuff. It's a really good show, but the opening of the show is what disturbed me the most. Is that now? This is a fake dog. Everybody, calm down. Fake dog, stuffed dog, not a real dog. But in the center of the stage is a dog with a pitchfork in it. It's like I said, not the greatest of things to see when they open the curtain is a dog with a pitchfork in it. Oh man, what the day? I can't. I'm sorry, I can't.
Having lived on a farm and done stuff on a farm, sometimes you understand that when the dog's going out trying to kill your chickens and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like, well, the dog probably earned it or deserved it. So
Yeah, but yeah, I wish I could remember the premise of it. Not Dog Day Afternoon. I can't.
And if
remember.
me saying that offended anybody, get over it.
Sorry, that's farm life. So yeah, so there's like there are things you're like, whoa, there's like, okay, but it just was talking about the confusing mind of the poor kid and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean that's just entertainment. And I don't know where I was going with that, but that just popped in my head.
Well, it's
Yeah.
just the comment cards that
Yeah.
people write and
Yeah, about because some of that stuff you're like, ooh, that's gonna, I know what that's gonna be like or whatever. But yeah, no, I can't complain, especially being here. I mean, I've seen so many awesome shows and musicals and people, and some of the technology that comes through with a bunch of the musical shows, the automation. Oh my gosh, it's just nonstop. Especially now with Wi-Fi technology and the LED stuff, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and more complicated and more complicated. It's good. It keeps everybody on their toes, and it's opened up a lot more jobs for a lot of people. Now you have full time LED techs, projector techs. It's in the union there was still always the projectionist. Now that role has expanded to LED and a whole 3D mapping and what do they call the contouring stuff? I can't remember, but yeah, there's so much that just goes on with the shows nowadays, and it is nice to do something simple. I won't complain about the simple shows, but you see some of these, mainly the Broadway tours coming in that are super complicated. You're like, don't you just turn on the microphone anymore? No, there's automation. There's cue tracks. Oh yeah, it just gets nonstop with technology.
yeah. Then you get into that thing is it about the show? Is it about the technology? What are you there for? What are you watching? What's
Yeah, that there are those lines where, what do you do? Why is this in the show? Is it in show? Sometimes they're enhancements, and they're fantastic enhancements. Otherwise, it's like, oh, that was somebody that had money to spend, and they just spent it
Yeah.
to spend it. What keeps us busy?
Yeah, and that's a big chunk of what we do too. Just make the producer, director, whatever their dream come true on the
That's
stage.
it. And that's our job. It was there's an old mentor of mine, Mr. Martin Ferret Rowe, who gave me this line to say. He goes, when people ask, "What do you
gonna
do
say
for
it
a living?"
British in British accent?
Oh, I don't think I can.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Um, I don't. I'm not ramped up for it. He would be like,
You can't say it at the top of your head. You sounds not that good.
yeah. Well, I have a let me quote for that one after this one.
Okay.
So, and the Martin Ferret was he was an early salty guy from England who was in the late '70s, starting out with nothing and making everything work with zero anything. Anyway, so he goes. When somebody asks him what he did for a living, he goes, well, I move air for a living, and any ass can do that. So, but yeah, one of his Lemmy stories was, hey, Ferret, Lemmy going, oi, Ferret, yeah, that horrible noise coming out my wedge. No, Lemmy, I don't. Oi, then turn it up then. The some of those old stories of Lemmy. I only got to work with him once. It was very briefly. It was on a sound check, and lovely man. All the
Yeah,
stories
he's
about
a
him.
good guy.
He was such a gentleman. He could out drink everybody, but he was a true gentleman. He's sorely missed.
I think that he came in when we did the install for the first Manilow. When they were all changing the whole audio over and getting it, up to Manilow what they wanted and
Right.
stuff like that. He came in, and I can't remember what he was doing there. It wasn't front of house. I think he was just doing engineering on it. Just
Yeah.
getting the engineer part. System engineer type stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Fair. Yeah. Well, he came in with God, what was that? Whatever the system was, but yeah, Ferret was always good with that stuff. Yeah, I haven't talked to him in a while. I kind of lost touch. I stopped over at his house and he didn't answer. I haven't heard from him in years. But yeah, good. When they ask me where I get my saltiness and some of my British humor from, I go, it's from Ferret, because he didn't mince words, and I don't know. Can I cuss? I mean, like really cuss?
PG-13, yeah, PG-13.
Okay. Well, I'll leave out this word. So if you did something dumb, made a rookie mistake,
Yep.
you know, and you'd go, and then Ferret would go, "Do you know why you did that?" I'm like, "No, I don't." He goes, "Because you're stupid."
You're effing stupid.
Yeah, he's like, "Oi, you know why? Oi, or JW, you know why you did that?" "No, Ferret, I don't. Because you're stupid." And he was told that, back in the late 70s with, I can't remember if it was whatever, I don't know who it would have been. Could have been Judas Priest. I have no idea. He did do a lot of work with Judas Priest, where he was running under the stage. Now, remember, the stages back in the late 70s are not what they are today, where they're purpose-built stages now. Back then, they were just erecting them out of scaffolding. They would put the scaffolding legs up, and it was very rickety and stuff. And whatever they had, there was just this pole sticking out from the downstage edge. And I don't know what happened. There was some emergency, and Ferret, being the young buck that he was at the time, went barreling under the stage and just smacks his head, just right on the pipe. Blood, he's laying out, and his mentor leans over the edge of the stage. "Oi, Ferret, you know why you did that?" And that's where, this is generational.
Yes.
You know why you did that? And then at PRG, because Ferret was such a renowned mentor there, that's all you had to say. You didn't have to complete the sentence anymore.
You know why you did that.
You know why you did that.
Yep, I got it.
So yeah. So there's a lot of the mentoring there and building all the rock tours, and yeah, it was lots of fun on that. So.
Well, cool. That brings us to the end of episode number 2. Folks, we'll be back in just a few, and we'll keep going as long as we can go. Talk to you soon.
You're listening to It's Showtime, the Craig L. Hayes Show.